Good morning, everybody. Good evening to everybody. Good evening. Hope you're all doing good. Welcome you all today on day 3 of self-healing retreat. So, as we do, we'll do a quick recap today again of day 2. The first day we learned what is meditation and how to sit in meditation, and a few tips about what we have to do to make sure our meditation becomes more powerful. Yesterday we learned about what is not a meditation. So yesterday we learned what is not a meditation. It is important to know what is meditation, but it is also very important to know what is not a meditation. And it was a very beautiful session yesterday. And what Pradeep ji talked about was very, very deep. There was a lot of learning on what is not a meditation. So what he basically said, the purpose of meditation is to empty the mind. And if anything that is not emptying the mind is not a meditation. In one line, this is a beautiful thing that he said. Now, calming the mind. So he said he listed few of them. Mantra meditation is it does calm the mind, but it's not a meditation, because when we are listening to mantra, it does calm our mind, but we are using our mind to listen to mantras. And when we are listening to something, we are using our mind. So once we are listening, we cannot empty the mind at the same time. So it's not a meditation. Then comes visualization technique. There are a lot of visualization meditation happening these days. And again, when we visualize, we use our mind. So as he said, if we are using our mind, it's not a meditation because it's not emptying the mind. The purpose of meditation is to empty our mind. Unless we don't empty our mind, we can't be in union with our breath, which is the higher self. So also there are many times we invite masters, and as he said that masters, the real master will appear when the master know that we are self-dependent on our breath, and he will come as a gift, as a reward, but not as because we are calling him. The next he talked about the guided meditation. So guided meditation is also not a meditation, because again, when somebody is guiding, we are using our mind, and that person is listening to the speaker who is guiding. So that is also not a meditation. Open eye meditation, and we also touch base on the chakras and kundalini meditation, where if it is happening naturally in meditation, it is amazing. We increase our awareness, more awareness, more awareness increases. But if we are forcing to open them or to rise the kundalini, it has its own consequences. So we should learn that just let it go, let this happen naturally. The very important line he said is, in spirituality there is no shortcuts. Then he talked about what spirituality is. And this really touched my heart. The spirituality is having faith in yourself. So this is where the self-healing starts. And the first point he talks about is having a faith. If we don't have a faith in ourselves, we cannot have a faith in others also. So it's very important. The first step is to having a faith. The second one is accepting ourselves, not just accepting the good things about ourselves, but accepting the negative things also about ourselves completely. Then once we accept ourselves, on both sides, the dark side and the light side of it, then then there is an inner calling from the heart, and that basically transforms us to think, and that's when the transformation happens, and that's when we think whether we want to change this negative habit or not. So that comes from inside, not because people are telling you. And when that comes from inside, transformation happens. That's when the healing happens. So the third point he talked about was healing happens naturally. If you follow the process, healing happens naturally. And when the healing happens, the transformation happens. Then we master ourselves into it. And once we master ourselves into it, then that's when the self-realization comes, which is Aham Brahmasmi. So we need to focus on accepting ourselves, and love will happen. Automatically, the self-love will come. So these are some of the points that he talked about. And he's here. I would like to invite him for our day 3 beautiful journey so far. So welcome, sir. Welcome you on day 3.
Yeah. Namaste, all of you. So let us begin with meditation. Remove your eyeglasses. Drink some water. Darken your room. Close your eyes. Sit comfortably, clasping the hands, crossing the feet. Just be a witness to your natural breath. Without any expectations. The most important point is no expectations whatsoever. And when you sit for meditation, you should close your eyes immediately. Even if you delay closing your eyes for a few seconds, it becomes difficult to empty the mind. And you should not open your eyes till the end of meditation at any cost. Sit as comfortably as possible. the entire body fully relaxed. The more comfortable and relaxed your body, the more deeper you go into meditation, my dear friends. And all you need to do is be a witness, be a passive observer of your own natural breath. The moment you notice any thoughts, immediately come back to your breath again and again. Let your mind surrender to your own breath. Your 100% awareness on your simple, soft, tranquil breath, natural breath. Let us enjoy the friendship with our own breath. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just being a passive witness. Music helps in meditation. Allow the music to calm your mind. The music slowly goes into background. The more you are with your breath, the more the music goes into the background and your mind becomes rather empty, my dear friends. Final 10 seconds. Gently place your hands on your eyes. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. You may slowly remove your hands and open your eyes whenever you're ready. And immediately drink plenty of water. So friends, we have done an intense meditation of more than 1 hour. To be precise, 1 hour, 10 minutes. 70 minutes of meditation we have done. It is this practice of meditation which will help you in your self-healing process. Theoretical understanding is on one level, but practical implementation of what we have learned gives us the real transformation. The more you practice meditation, the more you get clarity in your life. It is the clarity which is very important. You can take down. Whenever you're ready, take a pen and write down. Meditation essentially gives you two things. When you meditate, your awareness increases. What you do in meditation, you simply close your eyes and you become aware of your breath. The breath is already happening, but you become aware of your breath. And then when you notice any thoughts, you cut the thoughts and come back to breath. Cut the thoughts and come back to breath. For example, if you are meditating for 1 hour, at 1 hour, your awareness on your breath increases. So the more you meditate, the more your awareness naturally increases. This awareness is the quality of your soul. That's the first. The more you do meditation, the more your awareness increases. If you do 1 hour of meditation, in that 1 hour, you are fully aware of your breath. And that 1 hour of awareness practice helps you to be aware rest of the 23 hours. The second, the more you do meditation, the more you get energy, cosmic energy. How do we know that we get energy? After meditation, you feel fresh. You feel vibrant. That means you have got more energy. You have harvested more cosmic energy. During sleep also you get energy. You just see in the night when you are very tired, you go to bed. Whenever you have very less energy, you feel tiredness in the body. If you are feeling tired, if you are feeling agitated, if you are feeling stressed, that means you have less energy. And you sleep in the night with tiredness. In the next day morning, you get up, you feel fresh. What happened? In the night, you absorb cosmic energy. So the more you get cosmic energy, the more you feel fresh. Let us understand the energy science. In meditation, you get two things. One is awareness, another is cosmic energy. With awareness and energy together, whenever you have awareness and whenever you have energy, that means you have clarity. That gives rise to clarity. In meditation, you have awareness and cosmic energy. You receive more cosmic energy, your awareness increases. With more and more awareness, with more and more cosmic energy, there is clarity. It is that clarity which helps you in life to figure out what to do, what not to do. What to do, what not to do is $1 million question. And that to understand what to do and what not to do, how not to do, when to do, when not to do, why to do, why not to do, you need a lot of clarity. Meditation is a tool which is necessary to have clarity in life. And this clarity comes from within. The more you have awareness, the more you have energy, you have clarity. You can experiment this. At any point of time in your life, you cannot make a decision. You don't know to either to go left or to go right. You don't know. There is a junction in your life where you don't know, you cannot decide. That moment, you simply close your eyes and just be with your breath. And just empty the mind for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. You close your eyes and observe the breath. Be in a meditative state for 1 hour. And after you come out of the meditation, whatever you feel in your heart, that you do. So your clarity is from your heart space. You can do this experiment. Your heart will never misguide you. But how do you connect to the heart space? Unless your mind is empty, you cannot connect to the heart space. And unless you connect to the heart space, the clarity is not there. So your higher self guides you, communicates to you in the form of feelings, heart feelings. When you are calm, when you are relaxed, when your mind is absolutely in a very calm state, what you feel in your heart is your guidance from your higher self. And self-love, self-healing, self-transformation, self-mastery is all about following the heart. The more you do meditation, the more you can follow your heart. Without meditation, you are stuck in the thoughts. You are stuck in the mind. With more and more meditation, you can follow your heart. And the more you follow the heart, the more naturally yourself is rejoicing. Let us understand a little bit about energy. Energy science. We are all energy beings. We are a combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom. Trinity. If somebody asks you, define you, what are you? Then you say, I'm a combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom. That is our fundamental nature. When you close your eyes, you conserve the energy. When you observe the breath, you harvest the energy. You increase the energy. You maximize the energy. This is what happens in meditation. When you close your eyes, you conserve the energy. When you observe the breath, you maximize the energy. This is a simple science. You can experiment it. Whenever you are feeling, how do you experiment? Whenever you are feeling headache, whenever you are feeling stressed, that moment you close your eyes and observe the breath. For 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your headache is gone. Your stress is gone. Because in that 10 minutes, in that 15 minutes, you have increased your energy. With the increase in energy, your headache is gone. Your tension is gone. You can experiment it. Energy conservation means you don't speak unnecessarily. We put the heading energy. What we are going to discuss today is about energy. The first is energy conservation. How do we conserve the energy? When you don't speak unnecessarily, you conserve the energy. When you don't see unnecessary things, you conserve the energy. When you don't hear unnecessary things, you conserve the energy. And when you practice with the practice of mauna, you conserve the energy. With the practice of mindfulness, you conserve the energy. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Anything you do in totality. That means your body and mind are both in one place. When you're eating, you're only eating. When you're walking, you're only walking. When you're working, you're only working. So anything you do, your focus is only on that activity. Body and mind totally in one place. That is mindfulness. So when you practice mindfulness, you conserve a lot of energy. So energy conservation simply means you don't waste energy. When you don't gossip, when you don't speak unnecessarily, you conserve the energy. When you don't see unnecessary things, for example, when you are walking in a street, there's a husband-wife quarreling. Why you have to see that fight? It is none of your business. The husband-wife fighting on the street, or a quarrel between two groups happening on the street. You don't give your attention there. There are so many beautiful things to be seen. So you don't see unnecessary things. So you conserve the energy. When you're going in a public transport, there is a traffic jam, and you don't need to see the traffic jam. When you're not driving, when you're going in the public transport, you just close your eyes and be with your breath. When you're driving in the nature, when the train is growing in the mountains, in the valleys, then you see the nature. So when you see beautiful things, you get energy. When you see ugly things, you lose energy. Energy conservation is the first step. The second step is energy maximization. Energy maximization simply means meditation. The more you do meditation, the more you maximize the energy. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you conserve the energy. The more you practice meditation, the more you maximize the energy. I'm speaking about cosmic energy, prana, chi energy. So our goal in life is more and more energy conservation and more energy maximization. What happens when you conserve your existing energy and when you maximize your energy? What happens? Then the third is you can utilize the energy properly. Energy utilization is a third. You can read wonderful books. You can absorb all the wisdom from all the great masters. And there is a perfect clarity what to do, what not to do. That is energy utilization. To read books, you need a lot of energy. To do seva, you need a lot of energy. To do good karmas, you need a lot of energy. To fulfill your purpose of life, you need a lot of energy. To understand what is your purpose of life, you need a lot of energy. So the energy utilization only happens, the proper utilization of the energy happens only when you are able to conserve the energy and maximize the energy. If your energy is very low, you cannot read any books. you cannot do any service. There is no clarity in life. But when you're having full of energy, then at any given point of time, you are your best. You become your best version of yourself when you are full of energy, my dear friends. You underline yourself. You become the best version of yourself when you are with full of energy. So the more you do meditation, the more you are maximizing the energy. The more you practice mauna, the more you practice mindfulness, the more you conserve the energy. Any work you do with mindfulness, your efficiency increases because you are conserving the energy, and naturally your efficiency increases. You can experiment in your day-to-day life. Just do this simple experiment. When you're eating the food, eat mindfully. Let your focus be entirely on the food and the taste and the aroma, and having the gratitude for the farmers and the cooks. Just eat mindfully. One meal, you just experiment. Eat totally mindfully. Your dining table should be full of silence. People, while eating, they speak. It is not mindfulness. You should be absolutely silent when you're eating the food, and your entire focus should be only on eating the food. You experiment this. That food will be the tastiest food you would have ever eaten. When you're cooking the food, it's mindfulness. Your kitchen should be completely silent. And when you're cutting the vegetables, when you're cooking the food, you should be totally mindful. Some people, they use mobile phones. They speak on the phone while cutting the vegetables and cook. So while you're cooking the food, whatever the emotions you are going through, that energy goes into the food. If you're emotionally sad, and when you're cooking your food, that energy in the food is full of sadness. You should always enter the kitchen only when you're happy. You might say, how can I make sure that I'm happy? Just take a quick shower before you cook a meal. Take a quick shower, cleanse your aura, and then immediately go to the kitchen. Cook a meal. They can feel your love. In the Indian tradition, in the olden days, or even today, the Brahmins and the meditators and the yogis, they don't enter the kitchen unless they take shower. So there is a lot of science behind it. This is how you conserve the energy. Anything you do mindfully, you conserve the energy. Any activity you do mindfully, the efficiency in that work is the highest. And more you practice mauna, the more and more you conserve the energy. The practice of mauna means silence. When you practice silence, your emotional healing happens. Many people, they are stuck in their emotional dramas. They are not able to the best version of themselves. They are not able to be happy in life because they are stuck in their emotional dramas. And emotions are very intense. It takes lifetimes sometimes. Emotions doesn't go in one lifetime, it takes lifetimes. So how do you handle your emotions? Emotion, E-M-O-T-I-O-N. Emotion means energy in motion. Your energy is in constant motion. And many people, they can control their thoughts. Controlling the thoughts is easy, but you cannot control your emotions. In the beginning days of meditation, you notice the thoughts and you come back to the breath, But sometimes when you progress in your meditation, then all your hidden emotions, all your suppressed emotions will come up to the surface. Now, how do you handle it? You cannot suppress the emotions. Emotion should never be suppressed. This is what you have to write in the bold letters. Emotion should never be suppressed. Any kind of emotion, if you suppress it, then you manifest illness in the body, physical body. When you suppress your anger, when you have a lot of anger, and when you're suppressing your anger, then it affects your digestive system. It affects your stomach. And when you are not able to express yourselves, then you have a lot of throat chakra issues, thyroid issues, hormonal issues. So any emotion, if you suppress, that manifests into illness. It is very, very important you express the emotions. Now you might ask, how can I express negative emotions? Yes, you can express negative emotions also. And it is important to express negative emotion without judgments in a healthy space. I'll give you an example. For example, let's take the example of anger. That's one of the common issues people go through. Anger is an emotion, and that is your anger. And people say, no, you should not be angry. You should not be angry. And they suppress their anger. The more you suppress the anger, the more you manifest all kinds of illness. So how do you handle this anger? First, you have to understand this anger is part of you. It is your energy. And why the anger comes? What is the fundamental root cause of anger? The root cause of anger is whenever you are helpless, you get angry. In any situation in the life, whenever you are helpless, you get angry. So the anger is the result of your helplessness in that particular time and in that particular situation. So when you understand that your anger is because of your helplessness, then you understand why you feel helpless. So then your focus is not on the anger energy. Your focus on why you feel helpless. What should you do? So when you address that particular situation, oh, okay, so in this situation, I'm helpless. I'm feeling helpless because I'm not able to express myself, or people are not able to understand me. So I feel helpless. So that's why I feel angry. So then you consciously say, okay, I'm not able to express myself because I feel judged. I feel judgment from the people. So in spite of the judgment, I don't care about what others judge me. I will express myself in a loving way. Underline the word, in a loving way. Anything and everything you want to express, you can always express in a loving way. And you don't care about others' opinions. When you don't care about others' opinions, then you are able to express yourself. It is in your hands. How do you express? And expression is very, very important. For every soul, expression is very important. If you're upset with somebody, then you can speak lovingly that I'm not happy in this situation and I'm upset with you. Nothing to do with you, but I am upset. You see? So when you take the responsibility that you are feeling upset, then you can express it lovingly. But most people, they point the blame on the outer. That is the problem. They don't take the responsibility that I am feeling angry, I am feeling upset, I am feeling disappointed. It is my problem, not your problem. So anytime you feel upset, anytime you feel angry, anytime you feel that you are not understood, you have to understand that is what you feel. It is nothing to do with the other person. So when you understand this fundamental fact that you feel in a certain way, yes, the trigger might be the outside person. For example, your partner, your children, your parents, your boss, your colleagues, the society. They can be the trigger, but the energy is within you. That upset energy is within you. That anger energy is within you. So when you understand that this is how I feel, but the energy is within me. So how do I work on it? There is always choices. How do I express is my choice. When you see, you have to understand the fact. Hate cannot trigger love. Only love can trigger love. Hate can never trigger love in the other person. Only love can trigger love in the other person. Anger cannot bring understanding. If you shout angrily at somebody, they will not understand you. But rather, you use loving words to express yourself, there is a possibility they understand. So the choice of the words you use matters because the words have a certain energy. Sound energy, the words you use has an energy. And before you communicate, this is very important in all the relationships. Every relationship becomes healthy with the right communication, with proper communication. What is proper communication? Communication is not one way, it's a two-way. You understand that the problem is within you, not with the other person. That is a step number one. At any given point of time, in any situation, the problem is always with you, not with the other person. The other person might be the trigger, but you feeling a certain negative emotions is the problem is you, not the other person. The other person is just a trigger, it's a mirror reflection. And when you understand this, when you accept this, then there is a possibility you can come over it. How do you come over it? You come over it with the proper choice of words, and your expression is complete when you don't care about others' opinions, when you don't care about others' judgments. It is necessary for you to express, so you express. Whether the other person receives it or not, it's irrelevant. You are expressing it. That is more relevant. It is a very complicated subject. So unless you are in a meditative space, unless you have a lot of energy, unless you are calm and cool, you cannot handle your emotions. So for the self-healing process, your emotions, self-healing means what? Your emotions are in balance. Your emotions doesn't go extreme left and your emotions doesn't go extreme right. When you call somebody emotional, when they are in their extreme left or in their extreme right, they go to the extremes. That means you call the person emotionally charged. But when a person is calm, relaxed, cool, and he responds to the situation instead of reacting to the situation, then the person is emotionally balanced. You underline the word responding versus reacting. Whenever you are able to respond to a situation, that means your emotions are in balance. Whenever you react to a certain situation, that means you are emotionally imbalanced. What is the difference between a meditative person and a non-meditative person? A non-meditative person reacts to any situation. A meditative person responds to all the situations. This is the entire difference. The more you are able to respond, responding means you don't react immediately, you step back. Instead of reacting, you step back and you be a witness to that situation. And in a balanced space, with calmness, with clarity, you respond to that situation. So, for example, in your house, in your family setup, the wife is upset with you, or the husband is upset with you, either way. The man is upset with the woman is upset with the man. And the woman keeps on nagging and shouting at the man. So instead of the man reacting, he can say, okay, honey, I think you are stressed. Take your time. Take your time. You feeling angry has nothing to do with me. I'm doing my best. You have to understand that I'm doing my best. So you look into it. You tell me, how can I support you? I'm ready to support you. So he's responding to the anger instead of reacting to the anger. That makes a lot of difference. So the more you are conserving the energy, the more you are maximizing the energy, the more you are able to utilize the energy properly. Utilizing the energy simply means you are responding to the situation instead of reacting. When you don't have energy, you react. When you have full of energy, you respond. So once again, let us recap. This retreat, this 7 days, we are going to speak a lot about self-healing, self-transformation, self-mastery, self-realization, self-love, whatever you can call it. We all deal with the self. When we are speaking about the self, the emotions are very important. The more the more your emotions are in balance, the more you have self-esteem. Your self-esteem is very high. Your self-respect is very high. If your emotions are not in balance, then your self-esteem is very low. You have an inferiority complex. When your emotions are in balance, then you are no more having an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. Both inferiority and superiority are a complex. So it is very, very important to deal with the emotions in the right way. What is the right way to deal with the emotions? I quickly summarize. How do you deal with your emotions? First point, step number 1, don't react to any situation. Step back, take a few minutes, and then respond to the situation. The more you respond to the situation, the more you practice to respond to the situation, the more you become emotionally balanced and healthy. And that is not so easy. And you need a lot of meditation. And number 2, the more you practice mauna, the more you practice silence, the more the emotional healing happens. You understand a lot about yourself only in your deep silence. When your mind is agitated, you cannot understand yourself. You cannot understand your emotions. You cannot handle your emotions. But the more you practice silence, the more you become emotionally strong, the more you become emotionally balanced. So more and more meditation, more and more mindfulness, and more practice of mauna. These 3 things are very, very important in your spiritual journey. Everyday meditation, at least once in a week, 1 day practice of mauna, and everyday practice of mindfulness. These 3 things helps you to handle your emotions in a balanced way and in a healthy way. We'll speak more about it with examples, with case studies, and we'll understand about it a little deeper the following tomorrow, day after, and the following day. We'll understand more about our emotions and how do we handle our emotions. If you have any questions, you may raise your hand. I'll take 1 or 2. I know we are running out of time. I'll take 1 or 2 questions, and then we can have more questions tomorrow. Okay. I'll take 1 or 2 questions. If you have any questions, you may raise your hand. Yes, sir. You can
Pradeep sir, good morning.
Yes, sir. Namaskar.
Yes, sir. This is the second session that I have joining with your courses. I'm very happy to join this course. Sir, while meditation,
Where are you? Just introduce yourself. Where are you from?
I'm Shurudrappa Guragod. I'm a retired engineer. I stay in Bangalore in HMT area, sir.
Okay, so you are from Bangalore. Okay, sir.
I'm from Bangalore. So thank you, sir, for giving an opportunity. I was wondering, when meditation, is it that while focusing on our breath, automatically the emptiness happens, or we have to, you have to give a command for emptiness of your mind?
Where does the command come from?
Mind.
So when you're using the mind, is it possible to empty the mind?
So how does that?
When you're using the mind, is it possible to empty the mind?
No.
Yes. So as simple as that. So
But how does that emptiness
we don't deal with the mind. I think I've told in the first session. So we don't deal with the mind. We deal with the breath. It is like this, a room is full of darkness and you don't want darkness. Will you fight with the darkness? You will say, darkness, go away. I don't want darkness. Go away, go away. No, you don't deal with darkness. Darkness is because of the absence of light. So whenever you bring the light in, whenever you bring the candle in, the darkness cannot exist in the first place. So your focus should be bringing the light. You don't deal with darkness. Similarly, to empty the mind, you don't deal with the mind. You deal with your breath.
Okay.
So when you are with your normal, natural breath, the mind on its own becomes empty. Okay. So it is very, very important that you don't focus on your mind. That's why I said no mantra chanting. No mantra chanting, because when you chant the mantra, you are using your mind. No manipulation of the breath. Any manipulation involves your mind. Sometimes, people ask this question: Can I do some kumbhaka pranayama, or can I do some aggressive breathing so that my mind is calm and then I can do this anapanasati? No. Whenever you are manipulating your breath, you are using your mind. So when you use your mind, it is difficult to empty the mind. So anything nature is always perfect, is always the best. So our breath is happening naturally. You are not breathing, the breath is happening on its own. So when you're focused on the breath, when you're witnessing the breath, then you are not focusing on one point because breath is flowing. So when you're witnessing the natural flow of the breath, then very naturally the mind slowly becomes empty. You can experiment it. So no manipulation of the breath, no mantras, no visualization, okay, no imagination, no guidance, no expectations, because expectations again comes from the mind. And you don't need to put any thought that, I need to empty the mind. The moment you put the thought, you're having expectations. And every expectations leads to frustrations. So it is very important you let go of all the expectations and just simply surrender to your breath. The more you surrender to the breath, the more naturally the mind becomes empty. That is the science of meditation. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. But in that case, we are focusing on breath. Is it again mindfully only? No?
That's why I said you are witnessing the breath. In the beginning of meditation, you make a deliberate attempt to focus on it. But when you do regular meditation, the witnessing starts happening.
Okay.
So the witnessing is the quality of the soul. The witnessing doesn't come from your mind. The witnessing comes from the soul. So the witnessing is the very quality of the soul. The observation, the witnessing is the very quality of the soul. Okay. So in the beginning, you use a little bit of mind to focus on the breath in the beginning. But slowly, the witnessing starts happening. And when the witnessing starts happening, then the mind becomes empty.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So next, Maruti.
Namaste, sir.
So whoever is asking the question, please come on the video.
Namaste, sir. And
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you for such wonderful sessions, sir. And I had one question, sir. So when we are doing
Where are you
Anapanasati,
from, madam? Before you ask a
I'm
question,
I'm from Kentucky. And I wanted to know, when we are doing Anapanasati, we can't do any other meditation, right? Like light meditation or anything. We just focus only doing Anapanasati, right, sir?
what is light meditation?
Inviting light into the body.
Okay. Inviting light into the body. Okay. So when you invite light into the body, your mind becomes empty.
No, sir.
So if you don't invite, the light doesn't come.
No, it's not like that, sir.
You see, this is why it is very important to understand what is the right meditation, what is not meditation. Inviting light into the body, visualizing the light. This is all a mind game. Okay. So meditation is you stepping back and not doing anything. When you do something, you are using your mind. When you don't do anything, meditation happens. So in meditation, what we do is we stop all the outer activities. Then we stop the mind activities. First, how do we stop the outer activities? We cross our feet, we clasp our hands so that there is no body movements. We make our body still and we keep our mouth shut and we close our eyes. So we shut all the physical activities. And step number 2, when you observe the natural breath, because the observation, the witnessing is not you are doing, it is the quality of your soul. It happens naturally. So the more you are witnessing the natural breath, the more naturally the mind becomes empty. So when you close your eyes and stop all the activities, then you go inwards. So when you're going inwards, you notice a lot of thoughts, agitation. And some people think, oh, I close my eyes, I notice a lot of thoughts. There are more thoughts, they say. No, you don't get more thoughts when you close your eyes. The thoughts are already there, but you become aware for the first time. So the more you are with your breath, the more naturally your mind becomes empty. This is the right technique. This is what Patanjali said. Sthira Sukham Asanam. That means you have to sit in a comfortable and still posture. Sthira Sukham Asanam. And then Sukha Pranayama. Sukha Pranayama means natural breath. So when you are with your natural breath, then Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That means that Chitta, that agitated mind, that thoughts becomes empty. So this is Raja Yoga. This is what Buddha said as Anapanasati. Okay. But inviting the light and feeling the light all around your body, these are all simply you are cheating yourself. It might look like, wow, I'm inviting the blue light, I'm inviting the golden light, I'm feeling healing energy, I'm feeling, like elevated, I can feel the expanded consciousness. Yes, you can feel all those things. I'm not denying it. Yes, you can feel a lot of energy, you can feel vibrant, you can feel a lot of things, but that is not the reason you are meditating. The very purpose of meditation is to empty the mind so that you can connect to the self, so that you realize the self. The purpose of meditation is to self-realization, not for feeling the energy, not for feeling the vibrancy, not for, feeling great about something. That is the very purpose of meditation. So if you understand why am I meditating in the first place, then you know what to do, what not to do. If you want, you can experiment. For 40 days, you do like meditation and don't do any other techniques. Don't do any other techniques. Only the so-called light meditation you do for 40 days. And every day you write a journal. How is your day? How do you feel? What's your thoughts? What's your emotions? And then after 40 days, you stop and do only Anapanasati for 40 days. Then you know yourself. So it is your own experiment which will help you. So that's why it is very, very important you should have this scientific temper. Scientific temper means you don't blindly believe anything. You always do your own experiment. Unless you experiment, you cannot realize the truth. Many people say different techniques. How do you know which one is the best? Every technique gives you some benefit. You have to remember, every technique gives you some benefit. Mantra chanting gives you some benefit. Visualization gives you some benefit. Inviting the light gives you some benefit. Guided meditation gives you some benefit. Everything, something is there. But what do you want? Do you want enlightenment? Do you want self-realization?
Yes, sir.
Then there is only one right technique, which is emptying the mind. Okay, madam?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And gratitude.
Yes, madam. Pleasure. So, friends, if there is any questions, we will take tomorrow. Today, we are exceeding the time. So tomorrow we'll take more questions. Fundamentally, it is very important to understand the very nature of the mind. I'll conclude with the saying with the nature of the mind. Mind always likes the beaten path. Mind always likes the things which it is used to. But the soul is always for adventure. The soul always likes new things. Mind always wants repetition. The soul always wants new things. The soul is always in the exploration mode. The mind creates doubts. The doubts are from your mind, but the trust is from your soul. Why? The question, why, comes from the mind. Why not comes from your soul. Why this happened to me? Why am I going through this situation? Why only me? Why God is unfair to me? Why God is not kind to me? Why I have to go through these challenges in life? Why? It comes from the mind. For every why, there is why not. Why not is from the soul. For the mind, it is always classification. Good experience, bad experience. Mind always classifies good experience, bad experience. For the soul, every experience is a beautiful experience. Every experience is a wonderful experience. Success is a great experience. Failure is a much greater experience from the soul point of view. From the soul point of view, life is full of experiences. From the mind perspective, there is good experience, bad experience. And always you focus on the good experience and you deny, you feel upset with the bad experience. So there is nothing like good or bad experience. Every experience is an experience from the soul perspective. Success, you have to understand the difference between success and failure. Success is pregnant with materialistic gains. Anytime you are successful, you get all materialistic gains. Success is by default pregnant with materialistic gains. Failure is pregnant with spiritual gains. Every time you go through a failure, you question, and that leads to your spirituality, that leads to your spiritual journey. So it is pregnant with spiritual gains. Failure is pregnant with spiritual gains. The more you experience failure, the more the questioning happens. Why this is happening to me? What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? So failure gives rise to ask the fundamental question. Who am I? What am I? What is my purpose? What is the lesson I have to learn? Why am I going through this experience? What is the lesson I need to learn? So every failure is pregnant with spiritual gains, and every success is pregnant with materialistic gains. For example, you are successful in your business, you get a lot of money. If you go through failure in the business, then you start questioning the very agenda of life. Then your seeking starts, your search starts. That is a spiritual gain. Every success is pregnant with materialistic gains. Every failure is pregnant with spiritual gains. So from the soul's perspective, failure is more important than success. Because every failure triggers the fundamental question. What am I doing here? The very nature of the mind is to take you round and round. Beating around the bush is the mind. Going straight to the point is from the soul's perspective. Truth is simple and straight. The soul always wants simple things, straightforward things. But the mind likes complications. Mind likes to make even simple things complicated. You see, meditation is very simple. Close the eyes, observe the breath. It's a simple thing. Very simplest, straightforward. But the mind doesn't like it. The mind likes complications. Chakra meditation, light meditation, inviting the astral masters, inviting the gurus. Unnecessary complications. It is from the mind. And the mind thinks, and the mind makes you feel that you are very intelligent, you are very smart. The mind makes you feel that the mind always likes control. Mind always likes control. So that's why for the people to change, they are not ready for the change. Because the change is shaking the existing system, shaking the existing foundations, shaking the structure. So the mind doesn't like change. But for the soul, always it rejoices the change. Any change in your life, you remember this point, my dear friends. Any change in your life, the soul is rejoicing. It is only the mind which is suffering. Any change, you lost your job, or your relationship is in turmoil, or any change in life, you are going through relationship issues or financial issues. Any change, the soul is rejoicing because it's a new opportunity to learn something. But for the mind, it feels like, wow, it's a great disaster. Life is a disaster. Life is a failure. I'm going through financial issues. I'm going through relationship issues. My life is in a mess. This is how the mind thinks. But from the soul perspective, life is full of vibrant. Every opportunity is an opportunity to grow. Every opportunity is an opportunity to experience new things. What doesn't serve you has to leave you. That is the nature of life. What doesn't serve you has to leave you. But the mind likes to hold on to the things. The mind likes to cling on to the things. From the soul perspective, it is always let go. From the mind's perspective, it is clinging. From the soul perspective, it is let go. Go with the flow. Anytime you are clinging to anything, you are clinging to the money, you are clinging to the relationships, you are clinging to anything, that means you are stuck in the mind. And anytime you are in a let go perspective, you are with the go with the flow. That means you are from the soul perspective. The more you are a meditative person, the more you are an adventurous person. You let go, you go with the flow, because you know what you deserve, you get. What you don't deserve, you don't get in the first place. What you deserve, you get. Always what you deserve, you get it. Irrespective, you will get it. What you deserve, you will always get it, irrespective of the time and the situation. What you don't deserve, you will never get it in the first place. This is the law. This is the law of the nature. So why to cling on to certain things? You go with the flow, knowing that whatever happens, happens for good. Okay, my dear friends. We'll meet again tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll do again an intense meditation and followed by Sajjana Samriti. And we'll take more questions tomorrow. Thank you very much. And namaste to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a very beautiful wisdom today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We'll meet again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Good night.